It's the Wendy Williams Show. Now, here's Wendy.
Thank you for watching. My co-host, my studio audience. Ride or die. Ooh, boy. Not bad for a Monday. Let's get started. It's time for... Did you watch Stormy Daniels last night on 60 Minutes? Well, she's 39. First of all, 60 Minutes didn't come on until 45 minutes late. I'm in the kitchen, cleaning up after dinner and stuff, and I'm looking at the TV, and I'm like, all right, why is there a sporting event going on? I forget which one, volleyball, ice hockey, I don't know. There were some people playing sports at 7 o'clock, which is normally when 60 Minutes comes on. So it apparently didn't come on until about 7:45. Well, at that point, I changed the channel. I was on Bravo, watching, Bravo-locity going on. But okay, so this Stormy, and you say, I need a reduction. How dare you? How dare you? At least I don't feature wild and sloppy. But she's 39. Okay. So she said that she slept with the president in 2006 only one time. She spoke about him having the, I think it was like Time magazine or whatever magazine, he was the man of the year on the cover, and he showed her that when she got to wherever he sequestered her, I guess a hotel room or something. And when he showed, then she said, something or another, and then he ends up getting spanked by her with it. Just take a look.
And I was like, someone should take that magazine and spank you with it. And I'll never forget the look on his face. And he was like,
what was the look?
Just, I don't think anyone's ever spoken to him like that, especially, a young woman who looked like me. So he turned around and pulled his pants down a little, he had underwear on and stuff, and I just gave him a couple swats. He's like, wow, you are special. You remind me of my daughter.
Ew. At the time, Ivanka was 24 years old, and I guess he meant what? Feisty or something? I'm not taking it in a sexual way. I'm taking it in a regular way, like feisty. How awkward. This is what 39 looks like these days. Ooh, that's a rough life. I don't believe it only happened once. Also, I don't know that I liked Anderson Cooper doing the interview. Maybe that's why I didn't rush to see it, because I figured she wasn't going to say anything much, and she still does have that $130,000. She hasn't given that back. And then she mentioned something about her being approached in a parking lot when she was with her daughter. She was apparently going into exercise. A few people who don't understand children in our bureau meeting this morning were like, why is she bringing her daughter to exercise? Excuse me? Because when's the last time you exercised? These places do have places for busy moms who have children. Okay? Thank you for accommodating us, exercise places. Right? For a lot of busy moms, that's the only way you get your 1-2 on is when your 5-year-old is in the other room with the plexiglass, so you see the kid playing, you see nothing's going on, and you're getting your exercise. It's a mom play date, ma'am. Anyway, so the guy approached Stormy with the daughter there, and the daughter's like 5 years old, and said, cute girl. I wonder how she'd feel if she was raised without her mom, or something a little threatening. Well, this is according to what Stormy says to Anderson Cooper. But they also did have her strapped up to a lie detector test, not last night, but I was reading like in the various magazines this week that they were testing her before even putting her on with Anderson. So I don't know what to believe, but here's what I do believe. I believe it happened more than once. I do believe all that she's saying. I do believe that she wasn't Me Too'd, and she was very specific in saying, you know, ladies, there's a difference between doing something when you're a willing participant and when a man or a woman forces themselves on you. He didn't force himself on her. She was a voluntary participant. I want to hear more. This Stormy can go away as far as I'm concerned. You know, she's got a few more miles left on her face where she could... where she could, you know, be at the hoedown. You know, the strip clubs love featured performers, so she can be a featured performer at several strip clubs across the country, just on the basis of Stormy Daniels. But she can go away. Who I want to hear more from is that playmate, Karen McDougal. Maybe because she kind of looks like, who's his wife? Melania-esque. Like he messes with all blondes, but then he married a brunette. So I wonder what this girl really knows. They had a 10-month-long affair, she says. And allegedly. Are we still saying that? All right, allegedly. Anyway, all said and done, the president was not faithful to his wives. Donald Trump Jr. is learning the same behavior. He and his soon-to-be ex-wife spent the weekend, TMZ caught them at Mar-a-Lago with their 5 children. Doesn't she look like Gigi and Bella's mom? Yolanda, right? She looks good. Anyway, she looks good. The divorce has already been announced, but they do have 5 children together. We're learning more about Don Jr.'s affair with Aubrey O'Day. As if there's more to learn. There's no more to learn, but we did find this little morsel for you. On The Apprentice, she admitted that she was crushing on Don Jr. Take a look.
Take a seat.
What's happening?
Hey, big shot.
Don Jr. makes me nervous because his opinion means a lot. He's done this for a very long time. And also I have a very big crush on him, so I don't want to disappoint him.
I totally believe the Aubrey situation. And I totally believe that Don Jr., look, he was raised a Trump. He was given Don Jr. You know, the name is more than Eric. You know, he's Don Jr., which means you've got to rise to the occasion of being like your father or being opposite your father or whatever. I believe he fell for her. I do. And I believe that she fell for him, not in a thought way, in a real way. No, I do believe this. I do believe this. And I believe that he told her that he's about to leave his wife and strung her along. Her friends are saying that she doesn't want to tell her story because she already feels that she's lost. Her friends don't want her, to continue telling her story because they feel that she's already lost. You want to know what, Aubrey? That's why these aren't your friends. Because to me, birds of a feather flock together. So if Aubrey is going to be on the track all these years that we've known her, I mean, it's fine. It's only a 1-hour show. I've got to categorize things as fast as I can. All right. So now look, she's been like this. So what do you think her girlfriends are about? Probably the same thing, and probably jealous that they couldn't snare a Trump. So then, Aubrey, they're gonna try to tell you your story is old and tired and stop telling it just because they're jealous, because they know they'd take this story all the way to the bank. This is the thing, Aubrey. You have to look at this as your glass is half full. All right, you haven't done anything since you got fired from The Apprentice. You didn't do much before that. I mean, you were in Danity Kane in various incarnations of your look. I still recognize you, though. Although right here, doesn't she kind of look like Kim K with blue contacts? Yes, so you've achieved the look. Congratulations, you've achieved Kim's look. Aubrey, look. you are to go in the studio and you make one of those songs with the driving beat. Look, even though you're 47, you could... I don't mean that in a bad way. She looks better than Stormy Daniels. Okay? I mean, even though you're 47... Oh, she's
34. Somebody else was 47.
Oh, okay. Then we gotta hurry up and do this, girl. Hurry up and do this, because, wow. Sorry, Aubrey, but you could pass for a woman in her 40s. Anyway, look, that's not the point. That's not the point. The point is, now is your time to make one of those songs that sounds like all the other girls on the radio, from Demi Lovato. Like, all the music sounds the same. I know all the words to all of them, but I don't know from one song to the other. I just know that I like them. They make me feel young. You make one of those songs with the driving beat, and at the same time you do that, we want you to produce texts and emails. You've got nothing to lose. This guy was never going to marry you anyway. I mean, maybe in his lost Trump mind, because I do believe that your sex probably had him tricked out. Yes! She does tricks. Anyway, I do want to see the emails and the texts. You can do that. Why not? Aubrey says she doesn't want to take financial advantage of the situation, that they really did have a thing for each other. But guess what, Aubrey? And I do believe you. Even when this guy divorces his wife, he's not going to come back and be with you, not even for a one-night stand. You are going to be the most watched person, if you're not right now, on the face of the earth in terms of staying away from the sun. You know, and the son might have it bad for you, but don't answer his calls. That's trouble. He's not going to marry you. And I wonder what what's her name? Melania. What does Melania talk about the soon-to-be ex-wife of Don Jr.? Because Melania was there also. I wonder if Melania was watching 60 Minutes. I wonder if they watched there in the TV room. I wonder if there is a TV room at Mar-a-Lago. I don't know. Quite frankly, if I was Melania, I'd be like, look, I didn't sign up for all this either. Girl, come in here, let's talk. Let's talk. So I didn't see the Anderson thing. I turned to Bravo, and that's where I saw the Real Housewives of Atlanta last night. We finally saw Kenya's husband, cute guy named Mark with a C. Cute guy. He's got his nose pierced. Sheree had something shady to say about that she hasn't seen a nose piercing since, 1995 or whatever. Look, he just got it 2 years ago, so maybe he was going through a midlife crisis. He said, I know nose piercings. Oh. It's like when a guy gets a fresh ear piercing. Like if his ears are pierced already, that's one thing. But if you start dating a guy and he tells you he just got his ears pierced last week, and he's, say, 35 years old, don't you kind of wonder? Anyway, but nevertheless, he's very, very attractive. He was very well-spoken, but I am more interested in Sheree and Tyrone, not what Sheree feels about Kenya's husband. Now, Sheree, I love you, but you're making plans with Tyrone when he gets out of jail in front of your, okay, your daughter is 19. She still lives there in the house. Your son is not much older than her. Tyrone has got 4 kids. 2 are in their 20s, but 2 are under 20, which means they'll be living in the house. So it'll be Tyrone with the record. His 2 kids, at least during filming time. Tyrone's baby's mom's gonna want a piece of that check. Take a look at this, and then we'll continue.
Call from
Tyrone Williams.
an inmate at a federal prison.
What you got going on?
I know you talked about don't do the basement. You wanted to do the basement.
Right.
I've been patient.
Yeah.
So I've been working on the basement. I wanted it to be done and, right.
That's my man cave. I already had my mind set on how this
It's gonna be really nice.
all right.
You asked me about Tyrone before.
And you didn't say anything.
I did. I said, that's my friend.
Are we gonna see him?
He's in prison.
There are a lot of fish in the sea, and you go for the jailbait.
Ooh, Callie.
Sheree built the big, beautiful Chateau Sheree, which was under a lot of scrutiny, but it's there, it's beautiful, filled with the most luxurious fabrics and furniture. I know, I told you I went. The basement wasn't finished at that time. I told her, you don't even have to do the basement. Who cares about going down there anyway? But alas, she did the basement, and apparently this is his man cave. Well, who is he from behind bars telling her what he wants? Just saying. And she knew him a little bit through Nene before they got together as a romantical couple. But there he is, not a bad looking man, but you've done federal time and you're black. What kind of job do you think you're gonna be able to get when you get out? And Sheree, I know you're thinking, well, maybe we can open a business together. What kind of papers is he gonna be able to sign that people aren't gonna be looking at him like, okay, he spent the last umpteen years in prison, and so we can't have him sign on this? Sheree, I hope your credit is up and good and you can handle all this. True story. I know a girl, her name is... her name is Wendy. Her name is Wendy Punter. Okay. And no, true story. And Wendy, well, I told her before, Wendy has somebody that she knows who was in this same situation. And when he got out, he did exactly what Wendy told her that he would do. Fled. Like, I'm not messing with you. I needed somebody to call me and keep my commissary good. I needed an address to use while I'm in there. When he got out, he fled for the other side of the country and left Wendy's friend high and dry. And all she could do was call Wendy and I heard this. And all she could do was call Wendy and say, "You're right." I said, I'm not here to say you're right. You shouldn't have, like, who does it? You didn't even know him, just like she didn't even know him. Why are you holding down guys in prison? Shout out to the inmates. I'm saying. You know, I'm trying to learn to be a little bit more forgiving, so I'll just end it with this. If you don't know him better, if you don't know him to be that hold down, stand up type of guy, if you don't know him like that, Sheree, late night phone calls with batteries don't count as knowing him. Well, the full recap of last night's episode is at go to wendyshow.com. So then after that, right, I got trapped in a show called Rome. To Rome with Love. Oh my gosh. I'm in love with To Rome with Love. I'll tell you why. There's a bunch of stupid women on here. One of them is Healy from the Neelys from the Neely show.
Right.
Right. She doesn't have such a big role on it though. But two of the women, all right, this one right here in the middle with the jumpsuit, she's like the love doctor. All the women, they fly in from wherever they're from, and they meet up in Rome. They don't know each other from other past life. They meet up, and they're in Rome to collect themselves about love gone bad in their lives or whatever. But you know, when you're over in Rome, why not give a Roman a chance? So two of them gave a Roman a chance. And all I can smell, because one of them has kids living in her house, like the kids are like 15 and 17 or something like that. She's telling this dude, you know, fly over to the States and, you know, stay with me. She's like lost her mind over this guy. And all I'm thinking, shout out to every foreign person ever, I'm sorry. But to me, nothing beats a green card for the US of A. And all I'm thinking, is, I mean, even if you don't use it, even if you just have it for bragging rights, you know? But all I'm thinking is that these two women, and both of them have lost their minds over these Italian guys. All I'm thinking is green cards, green cards, green cards. Like the one with the blue suit, you know, am I the only one who watched last night? Clap if you watched. Okay, you know the one with the blue suit? He's real cute. He was real thirsty though. They just met each other. They're talking about they love each other and stuff, and she's got kids already and a bad relationship under her belt. She's talking about flying him back to meet her kids. And all I could see was green card, right? Anyway, I like that show. I'm going to be back, but not next week because I think Potomac starts next week. Potomac. Yeah, Potomac. I'm going to watch that. So Paris Hilton lost her $2 million engagement ring at the club. Well, stuff happens. Okay, here's what happened. She was dancing in the VIP area with her fiance, Chris. He was there with her. And the ring, I guess, in the middle of mid-snap, and a hoo, right? Flew off her finger and into the packed dance floor. So security apparently pulled out flashlights. I guess they flipped up the light to ruin everybody's buzz. Like, oh, damn. Anyway, someone found the ring in an ice bucket at another table at VIP. Now, there are two schools of thought here. Did Paris plant this to happen just so that we'd be talking about her here in a kitschy coo braggadocio type, because it is a $20 million ring. 2 million? 2 million. Oh, just 2? Oh. I thought it was 20. No, but does she want to be part of Hot Topics and part of, being, chatted about now that she's engaged? So maybe she planted it there. Or I think she might need a ring guard. You know what I mean? It's just a little tiny sliver of something. So when you don't eat, like when you eat a lot of salt, then you don't need your ring guard because your fingers get puffy, And when you eat a lot of salt, anyway, maybe a ring guard. Some people in our Hot Topics meetings said, well, why is she wearing the ring to the club? Why doesn't she have a decoy? I said, because A, she just got married, and B, why a decoy? People still kill you for the decoy, which is horrible. I mean, there's no point in wearing a decoy because the same person's going to run up to you. All right, I'm not judging you, and you don't judge me. If you've got your drink and say, the ring landed in your drink, would you keep the ring? Clap if you would. It's horrible because the first thing you think is, I'm sure she has insurance or she can afford it, she can get another. You can't, yes, you can return it, but why? You crunch it up, you get one of those crooked jewelers in your town, there's a jewelry area, there's at least 5 crooks there. You get one of them to meticulously crunch it up and make other pieces and sell it off little by little, and then that way you have your meth money. They were in the club. Anyway, that's it for Hot Topics. Are you kidding me? Oh. All right, well, look, we have more great show for you today. We got the inside scoop on why Mariah Carey's ex is in a mental hospital. Grab a snack and come on back.